Ever feel like you're hitting your head against a wall trying to change someone's mind? Like no matter how much logic or evidence you throw at them, they just won't budge?
Well, get ready for a mind-blowing deep dive. We're about to uncover a game-changing concept from behavioral economics. Sometimes, changing behavior isn't about changing minds at all.
It's about changing the environment.
Exactly.
That's what the book Nudge is all about, right?
That's the one.
By Thaler and Sunstein.
Yep.
Nudge basically argues that instead of trying to directly persuade people with facts and figures, we can gently nudge them toward better choices by tweaking their surroundings.
It's a fascinating approach that challenges our assumptions about how we make decisions.
And to understand how powerful this concept is, Nudge tackles a pretty heavy example. Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, Katrina is a powerful illustration of how environmental factors can dramatically influence behavior, even in life or death situations.
It's easy to look back and think, why did those people just evacuate? It seems so obvious. But Nudge really digs deep into the reasons why so many people stayed put in New Orleans. And it's way more complex than just assuming they were stubborn or in denial.
Totally. Nudge points out three key environmental factors that play a huge role in people's decisions: social norms, lack of trust, and limited resources.
So first up, social norms. What's that all about?
Well, think about it. If everyone around you seems calm and collected and nobody's packing up to leave, wouldn't you start to question whether the danger was really that serious?
I guess so, yeah.
Especially in a chaotic situation like a hurricane, people naturally look to others for cues on how to react. It's almost like an unspoken social pressure.
Right, like if they aren't worried, maybe I shouldn't be either.
Exactly, and that can create a dangerous false sense of security even when the warnings are clear.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the lack of trust factor?
Well, imagine you've had negative experiences with authorities in the past. Maybe you felt like they were incompetent or even discriminatory.
Yeah, that'd make you think twice.
Would you blindly trust their warnings the next time around? Probably not. So in the context of Katrina, a history of mistrust in government or officials could have led some people to dismiss the evacuation orders.
Makes sense. They might have thought, they're probably just overreacting again.
Exactly.
And then there's limited resources, which seems pretty self-explanatory. If you don't have the means to evacuate, then even if you know it's the right thing to do, you might be stuck.
Precisely. A lack of transportation, money for gas or lodging, or even just not having a place to go, these are all incredibly powerful barriers. Nudge highlights how these practical constraints can override even the strongest personal convictions.
It's a sobering reminder that sometimes it's not about willpower or even awareness of danger. The environment can literally trap people, regardless of their beliefs.
Absolutely. And this is where the concept of nudges comes into play. By understanding these environmental influences, we can design subtle changes that make desired behaviors easier.
So it's not about forcing people to do something, but rather making it easier for them to make the choice we want them to make.
You got it. It's about gentle guidance, not coercion. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to encourage people to eat healthier in a cafeteria.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of banning junk food outright or lecturing everyone about nutrition, what if you strategically placed the healthy options front and center?
Oh, I see. Like putting the salad bar right at eye level or making the fruit the most visible thing when you walk in.
Exactly. You're not taking away anyone's freedom to choose those delicious fries, but you're subtly making the healthy choice more appealing and accessible.
It's like you're giving the salad a little extra nudge without taking the fries off the table entirely.
Exactly. And another classic example is automatic enrollment in retirement savings plans.
Yeah, how does that work?
Instead of making employees actively opt in to saving for retirement, many companies now automatically enroll them, giving them the option to opt out if they choose.
Oh, that's clever.
By simply changing the default, you remove that initial hurdle of paperwork and procrastination, and guess what?
People save more.
Way more. Studies show that automatic enrollment significantly increases participation rates in retirement savings, simply because it makes saving the easier, more passive choice.
Wow, that's fascinating. It makes you realize how much our environment shapes our choices, even when we think we're being totally rational.
We are constantly being nudged in one direction or another, whether we're aware of it or not.
And this nudge concept goes beyond individual choices,
Yeah.
right? It has implications for how we design policies and systems on a larger scale.
Absolutely. Instead of blaming individuals for making bad choices, nudge encourages us to create environments that support better choices for everyone.
It's almost like we're shifting responsibility from the individual to the system. I mean, it's not about letting people off the hook for their actions. It's about recognizing that we don't make choices in a vacuum.
Exactly. Our environment, the options presented to us, the defaults we're given, all these things play a huge role.
By understanding those influences, we can create systems that help people make choices that are good for them and good for society as a whole. It's pretty powerful stuff.
It really is. So what have we learned today?
We've learned that changing behavior isn't always about changing minds. It's often about changing the environment. We've learned about the fundamental attribution error that tricks us into blaming individuals without considering the context of their choices.
And we've learned that even small nudges can have a big impact on guiding people towards better decisions.
It's all about understanding the power of our surroundings and using that knowledge to design systems that support our goals.
Now, think about your own life for a second. What environmental nudges do you encounter every day?
Yeah. Are there things in your home, at work, or even online that are subtly influencing your decisions? Maybe it's the way products are arranged in a store, the notifications popping up on your phone, or even the order of choices on a menu.
It's amazing once you start paying attention, you'll see nudges everywhere.
And maybe, just maybe, by becoming aware of these nudges, we can start to take back control and design our own environments to help us achieve our goals.
It's all about understanding the forces at play and using them to our advantage.
Food for thought, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we'll be diving into more fascinating examples of nudges in action in future deep dives, so stay tuned.
Don't miss it.